Well, it certainly was a frightening wake-up call for people in the Ewing Place neighborhood. Shattered glass and busted windows. It's what's left of this car right here in Ewing Place. I'm Noah Certion, and coming up on This is Arlington, you'll hear from frustrated residents. In a time where history is being wiped away from classrooms all around the country, students at Donaldson Elementary were able to learn about important figures of Black history in a very unique way.
And really this year, the whole theme about this has been, I am because of public education.
Yes, sir.
That's the thing that you've spearheaded.
Yes, sir.
Why is public education so important?
Now, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, this election was historic. And as we've mentioned, President-elect Trump is now the oldest person elected and the second president to win 2 non-consecutive terms. But if Kamala Harris was elected, she would make history being the first woman elected to the office. And this history was not lost on voters as they casted their ballot. Take a listen to why this election was so important to them. Well, you know, there are many distractions during the school day, and probably the biggest one for students is using your cell phone. Now, one Republican lawmaker in Tennessee is filing a bill that will ban cell phones during instructional time. I spoke with students here at Arlington, and they said that they are pretty against this bill. Hey, the $20,000 isn't bad. Well, the Sound of Music has returned to AHS. The Arlington Tiger Band is working on this season's show. Football games wouldn't be the same without the band. However, football games are not the only thing they do. The members of the band are some of the most dedicated members on campus, giving up their free time and other aspects of life to put on a great show. They're back in an even better shape this year, and with a new band room that will help them bring in even more trophies this year. And then this is probably the question that a lot of our viewers would want to know. For people like seniors, they've been through 3 principals, and there have been changes every single year after that. So with you being new to the school, what are some changes that you would want to implement? You know, normally when you think of administrators and going through that role, they start at the classroom, work their way up, maybe get a spot in the district office, but now you're taking a step back into the school. What made you want to come back to the school level position?
Right.
As many people were gearing up to gain an extra hour of sleep from daylight saving time, thieves were able to gain their way into multiple cars in Arlington. Sheriff's deputies say that they received nearly 30 reports of car break-ins in the town. Just around 4 a.m., deputies say that 33-year-old Mardrakus Sugars and a 15-year-old broke into a silver Chevy Malibu off of Dallas Ridge Drive in the Ewing Place subdivision. When the owner came to her car, she was met with shattered glass and broken windows. Now she's without her iPad for college and out of hundreds of dollars. It's a similar story for senior Juliana Palazzola. She was staying at a friend's house in a different neighborhood when she too noticed her money was stolen, causing a big inconvenience for her.
It sucked. It was very unfortunate because I worked really hard for that money.
Back here in the Ewing Place subdivision, sheriff's deputies say that another car was broken into near Oilfield Lane in Aubrey Ranch. This man, who did not want to be seen on camera for his safety, was awake when the thieves broke into his car. While his window was smashed, he's thankful things weren't worse.
I was very angry because I was like, man, I'm going to have to spend $300 on this. I'm going to have to figure out how to deal with all this. And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm okay. It was just a window.
And security cameras like these are supposed to keep a watchful eye to the sky as these vehicle break-ins happened under the cover of darkness. However, residents are telling me that understandably their sense of security is now shattered.
I felt my safest at my own house, but now I don't think I feel as safe as I usually did before.
As the sound of leaves rustling across the street ushers in a new season and noise to this once quiet neighborhood, residents hope that now the consequences the suspects are facing will help usher in a change of heart.
Follow what's right, follow what's right in your heart, and just do what's the right thing.
Reporting in Arlington, Noah Certion, this is Arlington. When driving on Interstate 40 around Memphis, it seems you cannot ignore an 18-wheeler hauling goods or cargo to its destination. But this massive 18-wheeler parked outside of Arlington Middle School wasn't hauling cargo. Instead, inside was a look at skilled trade jobs from truck driving to welding. The truck's owner, Be Pro, Be Proud, brings these 18-wheelers to schools around the country. On their website, they coined themselves as, quote, bringing a new generation of pride, progress, and professionals to America's skilled workforce, and that was the goal at today's event.
When they're planning what classes they take in high school and thinking about their future, they have some exposure now to see maybe what would spark their interest what they'd like to do.
It was a hands-on event for 8th grade students as they got to play hooky from history class. And for one student, exploring these jobs now has him thinking about a future career in one of these industries.
I think the welding interests me, and maybe the truck driving too. It's just, they're hands-on and they're fun.
While another student says that these skilled trade jobs aren't for her, she's glad just to learn about them.
In middle school, we don't understand how, really what people do as a jobs. We don't get that much into detail, but this, really went into detail.
And really, one of the cool things about this event right here is that all the jobs you see behind me are jobs geared towards what's wanted here in the state of Tennessee. An event organizers told me that they hope events like these shows middle schoolers just how important these essential jobs are.
Everybody needs to learn a trade. You can do it yourself and only pay for the materials.
Allison Lewis is a brand tour ambassador for Be Pro, Be Proud. She's gone on multiple tours throughout the volunteer state, and every time she meets with students, she's proud to see them succeed in something new.
I love to see the smile on their face when they figure out they can do some of these things that they've seen other people do when they're out and about, but never thought that they could attain that.
Reporting in Arlington, Noah Certion.
It's been a cool week, and it's cool to see all this here.
This is Arlington.
Oh, no, I don't like that bill. That's silly.
A bill filed in the General Assembly by Republican Representatives Rebecca Alexander and Senator John Lundberg would prohibit schools from displaying a phone during instructional time. The bill failed earlier this year. In an Education Committee meeting in March, Representative Alexander acknowledged problems phones play in the classroom.
I don't know about you all, but my cell phone laying on my desk up here constantly lights up when things are going on, and it's a constant distraction for students.
And while students are aware of the distractions phones cause, one person I spoke with said that the benefits outweigh the negatives.
And I think phone can be a helpful thing in the classroom as well. We have calculators and stuff like that, Google. We can get a lot of answers that we couldn't just get from asking a teacher.
Some students, however, think that phones cause too much of a distraction.
Phones are a really big distraction for people, and I think that school should be just school and it shouldn't have any outside distractions.
Media arts classes is a course inundated with technology. One film teacher sees both sides of the argument, but she thinks that the issue isn't just a one-size-fits-all approach.
There are ways to fix the problem where it's not all one answer or another. We empathetically look at everyone's point of view and we find a solution that works for all.
And that bill is expected to be filed in the upcoming legislative session in January. Reporting in Arlington, Noah Certion, this is Arlington. Hundreds of school board members across the state descended in Nashville for the annual Tennessee School Board Association Convention, a chance for district leaders to learn from each other, debate ideas, and determine collective ways to move the state of education forward in Tennessee. For Arlington School Board member and TSBA President Dale Viox, the convention has an even deeper meaning. Yes, networking, learning, it's all a part of the event, but it's also about acknowledging the impact of public education in his own life.
I was well below reading level. She spent her lunch breaks catching me up.
His story is one many can relate to. He grew up poor, struggled in school, lacked access to basic resources at times, but it's public education that gave him not only a leg up, but a way out. With the help and attention from a third-grade teacher, he saw the power of public education firsthand, going on to graduate high school, college, and become a nurse anesthetist, and now a school board member.
I am this now because of public education.
As TSBA president, that was his goal of this year's convention, showing the power and hope public education can give to the next generation of students, like our very own from Arlington who took center stage, the AHS Choir, JROTC, Ava Kessel singing the national anthem, and Student Council Vice President Abigail Cronow, who got an exclusive look behind the scenes of how TSBA runs.
To highlight the good works and the things that we do in West Tennessee, and particularly in Arlington, it's such an honor for them to be here and represent our district.
And at this year's convention, there are a lot of things going on. One of those, the delegate assembly that's happening right here in these doors, and the big topic this year, school vouchers.
Cameras aren't allowed inside the assembly where school boards debate the important issues. The delegate assembly is all about debating policy, hearing from others, and taking action as a unified organization to help shape public education in Tennessee. A big one this year, school vouchers, a controversial proposal by Governor Bill Lee that would siphon money from public schools to fund private school tuition. School boards across Tennessee made it clear they're against this plan.
The reality is, if you want to send your children to private school, that's fantastic. We don't believe that public dollars should go to fund private institutions.
Politics has zero place in public education. It should be an apolitical organization. It's all about the students. It doesn't have anything to do with anything politics.
Because we're thinking about students and futures and teachers and educators and thinking about the future of Tennessee where the students are coming, and the things that we do at Delegate Assembly really affect the future for our students.
And that's why not only is this delegate assembly important, but this entire convention, a chance for public education leaders across Tennessee, from Memphis to Johnson City to Knoxville and everywhere in between, to come together and strengthen their voices for all public school students.
So we represent all 141 school districts in our state. So each of our districts have an opportunity to have their local voice heard.
It is the most important institution for the future of this country and the world. Public education can completely change the trajectory of any student's life, and that makes it the most important thing that we do.
Reporting from Nashville, I'm Noah Certion for Arlington Community Schools.